In this video, I'm going to show you how I create my lived-in waves. The first step to creating lived-in waves is you want to make sure that you section out your hair. And how I do this is I section out by row. So on my hair, I'm just wearing one row. So I'm going to section out the top portion of my natural hair up and leaving my bottom row down. So the iron that I'm using to create my waves is my favorite. It's the Bio Ionic Long Barrel, and it's 1.25 inches in width. And what you want to do when you're turning on your iron is you want to figure out what heat setting you want. You never really want it to be at the highest heat setting because you don't want to burn your hair extensions. So I like to go anywhere between 360 and 390. I work pretty quick, so I'm gonna go to the 390, the hotter heat setting, because I know I'm not gonna keep the iron on my hair for too long. When you are curling your hair, you wanna make sure that the iron is facing the ceiling. So you want something more vertical rather than horizontal. It's going to change the shape of your wave. So you always want to make sure that the iron is facing the ceiling. And when I'm working on my bottom row, it doesn't really matter which direction I'm curling the curls. So you can curl it left, you can curl it right. I notice that when you're mixing up the curl patterns, it creates more of a messy, natural look. If you want something a little bit more polished, you can curl all of the curls in the same direction. So after I'm finished with my bottom row, I kind of let that cool, and then I bring down my natural hair on the top, and I do the same thing. One little trick I do sometimes if I want something a little bit more casual looking, almost like a mermaid wave, is before I take the iron out, I actually twist the hair almost into like a dreadlock and then take the iron out and let it cool, and that creates more of a mermaid style wave. You can incorporate the two together. You could do your whole head one way, you know, however you want to do it. But the one area where I really like to focus on detail is around my face and around my bangs. And what I do with that is I over direct my hair. So instead of just curling it like normal, I'll over direct it. So if I'm working on my left side of my head, I'll over direct it to the right, and then I rotate my iron left. So if you're working on the left side of your head, just always remember to rotate the iron to the left. And what that does is it creates a little bit more drag and make sure that it's more flattering around the face, where it opens it up rather than the curling into it. And then the same thing on your right side, you want to over direct your bangs to the left and then curl your iron to the right. Another trick that I always like to do is I try and keep the ends left out. One, because it's better for the hair extensions. You're not putting too much heat on the ends, because that's what tends to break down and get more dry more quickly. And also it creates more of that lived-in look. If you want something a little bit more polished, you can obviously curl the ends, but I like when they're a little bit on the straighter side. So once you're finished with that and your hair has totally cooled down, you want to rake your fingers through it, shake it out, loosen it up a little bit. And I like to go in with either the bedroom hairspray. This one has more of a waxy shine finish to it, creates more definition and a piecey look, or the do-over spray, which is more of a dry, almost like a dry shampoo texture, where it's more mattifying and it's not as heavy on the hair. Or you could use both of them together. And you could top it off with Shimmer Shine spray oil or your Young Again serum, you know, whatever products you like to use, and you're good to go. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this tutorial was helpful.